Oh man, this is an emergency video because Solana network is down. Yes, there's been an outage across the Solana networks. It's been over half an hour that no blocks have been produced, and many in the crypto space are saying, I told you so. We're going to break down exactly what is going on. This is breaking news right now. We're seeing the price tumble about 2% as I'm recording here on Solana. But the main thing we're looking at, if you jump onto the Solana website, go to their status page, you can see there's been a major outage. Now it's updated this to 1 hour 1 minute. Remember, this is just over a year ago, April 2023, that Solana was down for 2 days, and this always seems to be the Achilles heel for Solana. Solana, a project which during this little uplift in Bitcoin, during this excitement we've seen over the last couple of months, has seen an incredible recovery here in the post Sam Bankman-Fried era. I mean, if you were to buy Solana, you would have had a really handsome uplift. I mean, we're talking from some of these lows here to where right now a 570% return to get it back into this kind of $90 range. But the problem still persists, and this is a problem I've spoken about for a very long time here on Solana. You guys know I hold a very low cost basis bag of Solana, but for a long period of time now, well over a year, I've not been DCAing into this project. I've not been confident DCAing into the project, and it wasn't to do with Sam Bankman-Fried, it wasn't to do with Alameda Research, it was to do with the tech stack, it was to do with the network outages. The frequency is not okay, and I made a deep dive video into this months ago where I broke down how often this network would collapse, and it's a problem. Now, what we did subsequently see is over the last year, since April 2023 last year, Solana was on a bit of a run. It had about 283 days of no downtime, and for Solana, that's something to be celebrated compared to the performance from the previous time. But it's not up to scratch. We're talking about there are layer 1 solutions out there which have had zero downtime in many years since they've been launched, right? This is not okay for their mainnet to be down this often with a major outage. This is not good. Remember, this is the cornerstone of having cryptocurrencies, is that they stay up, right? Can you imagine what Bitcoin would be? Bitcoin would be nothing if this happened to Bitcoin. So this is not okay. You can see here they put an update here. Investigating engineers from across the ecosystem are investigating an outage on mainnet beta. I first alerted to this on Twitter, which has now got over 4,500 views. Make sure you go follow me at RealIjaz1 on Twitter. That is where you're going to get live, up-to-date insights. Also, link in the description. The first link is going to be to my Telegram community, ijazcrypto.com/TG, where I will be providing live updates as this situation evolves. That will be in my Telegram community. That's also where I happen to share my altcoin trades. So if you guys are actively looking to trade, we've got active trades which I'm taking, which I'll share with you in the Telegram community. So this is really important. You can see here the Solana hasn't produced any blocks for 28 minutes at least at this time of this screenshot. It's just not producing blocks. This is a major outage. You cannot get more critical than this. And so when I look at this, I'm kind of surprised that the price is holding up pretty well here. I'm sitting here. Let's jump onto the hourly chart. You can see this big hourly candle down 2.25%. It's not crazy. And I think we got to understand why is this? Why is it that you can have an outage on Solana and the price not fall catastrophically? I mean, we've had situations where we talk about Phantom here on this channel, where Phantom, the multi-chain bridge got hacked, not even the Phantom ecosystem itself, and we saw terrible FUD and scare and worry kind of encapsulate the Phantom ecosystem. Whereas the direct mainnet of Solana is being out right now, yet again, right? It's not the first time, and I've warned about this, and I'm saying this as somebody who holds Solana. I'm not saying this as, I'm attacking your coin, your bag. Please don't take it personally. I'm saying this as somebody who's trying to navigate this ecosystem as an investor, just like you guys probably are. But when the Solana mainnet goes down, it's suddenly given a pass, right? It's okay. And I'm going to explain why I think that is. I think what we've got here is people know what they're getting into when they're in Solana. When people invest in Solana, they go into Solana knowing that it's a project that moves fast and breaks things. This is something I've said before. You don't invest in Solana thinking it's going to be like Cardano. For example, you guys know I've got a Cardano bag. If this happened on Cardano or another network, this would be a much bigger problem than if it happened on Solana. Why? Because when people invest in Solana, they expect it to break. They want the outsized, fast-paced, high-throughput, crazy adoption. They want that in Solana. They don't want you to break. They don't want you to be safe. Another analogy I'll use to help you guys kind of understand why this phenomena occurs is use the example of Facebook. If you remember when Facebook went through its crazy growth curve to become the behemoth that it is today, Mark Zuckerberg was known as the CEO who moved fast and broke things. His remit was to build stuff and break things along the way. It doesn't matter what happened on the platform, just grow and get us 1 billion users on Facebook. That was the remit. Now, subsequently, we're seeing all the litigation, all the court cases, everything else, Cambridge Analytica, all the other stuff come to light. But it didn't matter. His job was just to grow at any expense necessary. And it's almost like Solana goes down that same path. We just want adoption. And that is why when you see the market doing really well, where does Solana go? It pumps. It pumps because it's got VC backing. A lot of people want it to do really, really well. It's got good use cases. It's got good adoptions. It's got good transactions. It's got good throughput. But the reality is, if it's built on a bunch of Lego bricks, then it's a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a problem longer term. And this is something the market needs to understand. And I think the market has priced in that risk. I think people holding Solana by now, or I'd hope so by now, understand acutely the risk in terms of its downtime and how often it's been down. So if you guys want to study this, we've done this before, you can go and scroll through status.solana.com. And you can scroll into the past and see all of the incidents they had going to last year, right? So February 2023, cluster instability, and you can keep going. In October of 22, they had degraded performance. In June, they had a mainnet beta outage. They had a lot, right? So the last 280 so days since April 2023 has been okay. But back again, these issues come. So you can scroll through the history. You can see it here on Solana, but it's known as being that type of a chain. So, if you're going into Solana thinking it's going to have 100% uptime like another layer one solution, then maybe you're asking yourself for trouble. And I think that's an important way for us to kind of think about our portfolios, right? When we invest, when we hold projects in our portfolio, we need to ask ourselves, why do we hold it? What is the strength of that project? For example, you hold Cardano and you do so because they move slowly. You'd hope that they do things in a nice, educated manner, in a peer-reviewed academic angle, right? Using from Charles Hodgkinson's experience and the team. And so if they had an outage like this, maybe you'd give them more stick than you would give Solana. But with Solana, you just want growth. So if Solana didn't have any growth, if it didn't have good throughput, if it didn't have good adoption, then maybe that is what you'd penalize them for. So you can see here, the general market here is kind of muted. Bitcoin flat here, awaiting for the US markets to open for some direction. Again, make sure you're following me on Twitter if you want the real-time updates. If I hear any update of what's going on, how is it going to get fixed, if we have any solutions. I see people already tweeting me memes about Solana. Look at this, classic. The Solana community are going to come out and try to, defend Solana. But the reality is what it is, right? The network is down, and that's a problem. And if they can come out and fix it within the next couple of hours, fine. If they can't fix it like they did last time, it took them 2 days to get it back up and running, then look, markets know that with Solana. So I don't think, if you're a Solana investor and it's down, you kind of knew it. You don't buy a Ferrari to not break down. It's going to break down sometimes, right? It's going to break down sometimes. And look, it's not okay. Cars shouldn't break down, but sometimes they do when you're going for high performance and you're trying to grow quicker than the normal growth curve. Hopefully you enjoyed this speedy update. As and when this breaking news came out, I will give you more updates as and when I get them in the Telegram community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.